Hello everybody, it's me, Mr.Spinosaurus, coming at you with another video today. Now, today's video is going to be something a little bit different today. We're going to be focusing on the game Path of Titans, which, if you don't know, is very similar to the likes of the Isle in the fact that it is a dinosaur survival game, where you play as a dinosaur and, for all intents and purposes, survive. So I'm covering this game right now because I'm a little burnt out on Primal Carnage Extinction, and I need a dinosaur game to give to you guys. And I've been watching the development of Path of Titans for quite some time, so I figured, what better time than now to essentially bring the game to the channel. And the reason why I chose now is because we have entirely new dinosaurs in the game than we did before, and we have, of course, mod support. And the thing that I really want to touch on today was my retrospective on some of the drama that I've been seeing going on with some of these games. Now, first off, I would like to clarify that this is post commentary. Um, I wanted to do regular commentary, live commentary, but I feel like I rambled on for a very long time, and something happened with the file to where I wasn't actually recording my voice. So instead, we're doing post commentary. So forgive me for that. But with that aside, let's get started. So, Path of Titans has recently added mod support, which is something huge in any game, I feel. The ability to create, in this instance, new creatures and dinosaurs, new maps, new in a relative term, and, of course, change some stats around and all that fun mumbo jumbo. Some of the new modern dinosaurs that we have are Utahraptor, Utahraptor, Shuntongosaurus, and a wolf. So, we've got some things to work with a little bit. My personal opinion, I think that the Utahraptor is absolutely overpowered. So, if you don't want to have these things just ravaging your community servers, just just go on multiplayer servers or normal matchmaking servers because Utahraptor is extremely overpowered. So if you want to get something done in Path of Titans on a community server, make sure it doesn't have the Utahraptor mod installed. Now, with that over and dealt with, we have a new base dinosaur to this game, which is where we start getting into the drama here. The new base dinosaur is a large herbivorous dinosaur that you may have heard of called Deinocheirus. Now, Deinocheirus is a large bipedal herbivorous creature who is actually closely related to Gallimimus, Struthamimus, and all of those kind of dinosaurs, which is interesting because Deinocheirus has grown to such a size, and it just doesn't look anything like a Gallimimus. So the dinosaur has certainly picked up some popularity in recent years, uh, given its recent reconstruction. Deinocheirus was famous recently, or not recently, in the past, for only having evidence of its existence being two large arms. And I think originally what we depicted the creature as was something carnivorous, something along the lines of a Giganotosaurus or a type of raptor, which I thought was rather interesting how we always seem to misidentify bipedal herbivorous dinosaurs as carnivorous dinosaurs. I mean, it happened with Therizinosaurus. after they debunked the turtle theory. They originally depicted Deinocheirus as a carnivore, and the same seemed to happen to Deinocheirus. Well, clearly, we were far from the truth. Deinocheirus is much more of a kind of a giant duck than even the duck-billed dinosaurs. I mean, we're talking about an animal that was possibly semi-aquatic. Um, that's certainly how it depicts in Path of Titans. But I mean, then again, Path of Titans is not really known for scientific accuracy. So, and Deinocheirus also was probably a grazer, grazing on some of the grasses that layered its habitat, and it might have been a browser, which certainly leads to why it was so large. But all that aside, um, let's get into everything. I mean, I'm sure at the moment I can't really see my video right now, but I'm sure at the moment I'm showing you the roars and animations or whatnot. If I'm not, well, I'm horrible at timing, and I've never claimed to be good at timing. But let's get into really what I think of the creature in the game. I think it's a pretty good addition. Obviously, since Deinocheirus has gained a lot of popularity in recent times, you're gonna see a lot of it everywhere across dinosaur media. That includes games, books, TV shows, if there are any dinosaur TV shows. I don't think there are. I certainly don't think that we're gonna see a Deinocheirus in something like Jurassic World, but I suppose there's always a possibility. Um, in regards to the Deinocheirus in the game, I think it's a pretty good looking dinosaur. I think the animations need a little bit of work. I think the sounds need a little bit of redoing, a little bit more depth. And I think the one thing I'm just really not happy about is the attacks. Uh, the way Path of Titans does like their animation and their attacks and stuff like that really makes it feel like some dinosaurs are just reskins of others. Because the way Deinocheirus is handled in this game makes it feel very similar to Spinosaurus. And supposedly, that's kind of the point. Supposedly, Deinocheirus is supposed to be the uh, Spinosaurus of the herbivore, I guess, clan. Which makes sense. There's no real, like, huge herbivorous dinosaur in Path of Titans besides Iguanodon before Deinocheirus. And Spinosaurus was obviously the only large carnivorous um, dinosaur in the game, at least what I consider to be large. And hopefully the addition of a large herbivore dinosaur contesting Spinosaurus will implore the Path of Titans team to bump up the stats on Spinosaurus, because Spinosaurus is definitely a lackluster dinosaur when it comes to his stats. But other than that small little detail, I think that their rendition of Deinocheirus is pretty spot on. I like it. I enjoy it. I like playing around as this guy. Uh, the way he moves really makes you feel like it's got some weight behind it. And he's obviously a beast in PvP. Like, holy moly. But enough of that. Let's get into probably the main course of this video, which is the drama behind this dinosaur. Or I guess I should say more specifically, the drama behind the games who implement this dinosaur. It's pretty much the same drama that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of concerning Path of Titans and the Isle. I'm not going to get too into it. Well, I'm going to get into it. I'm not going to get too in depth with it, what I should say. I'm not going to be calling devs out. I'm not going to be saying, oh, well, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did this. I frankly don't care. about any of that. I care more about the impact that that drama has on the games, in both games, because I care about the Isle as much as I care about Beast of Bermuda and Path of Titans and all the other games that I play. I want every game to succeed in what it's trying to achieve. And I feel as though the drama that is surrounding the genre of this game is really limiting that ability. So, what exactly am I talking about for those of you that do not know, and I'm just rambling on like a madman? Well, about a month ago, I want to say, maybe 2 months, maybe a few weeks, a little bit hazy on that. Um, the Isle had I believe, a community thing where they essentially asked the community, what dinosaur do you want in the game? And from what I understand, the community chose Deinocheirus. So recently, the Isle devs showed concept art for Deinocheirus to be implemented in their game. You know, what abilities it might have, what its job may be, what it may look like, so on and so forth. And a little bit after that, Path of Titans released their version of Deinocheirus, which, you know, obviously will set people off because there's been this uh, kind of idea that Path of Titans is trying their absolute hardest to beat the Isle to the punch, and I can definitely see where people are getting that idea from, especially in regards to the what is it, the Sarco, when the Isle released the fact that they were going to have the Deinocheirus in the game. The Path of Titans development crew decided to implement the Sarcosuchus, and from my understanding, the Sarcosuchus was not yet complete when they released it, and I think there was a paywall behind it for those who weren't a backer for the game. So that's in that regard, I can see and understand where people are getting this notion from. That Path of Titans is just doing everything in their power to beat the Isle at their own game. I completely understand that. But in terms of Deinocheirus, I feel like that idea is a little bit misplaced. I mean, we're talking about a completely finished dinosaur, as far as I'm aware. Deinocheirus in Path of Titans is completed. There's no missing animations, no missing stats, no missing attacks, no missing what do you call it? Abilities, I guess. Um, no quality of life changes, nothing. Deinocheirus is finished, at least in this version of the game. And to me, it seems a little bit heinous to think that in the time span of a few weeks, Path of Titans could get a fully detailed model, all the animations, all the stats, and all the sounds in little under a month. You know, people who don't take that into accountability, I feel like don't properly comprehend how much time and effort and money it actually takes to develop a proper creature for a game like this. I mean, for those of you that have modded before for the Isle back when it had mod support, or are modding for like Path of Titans, you will know how long it takes to make an individual model, animate that model, get sounds for that model, complete stats for that model, so on and so forth. Especially since Path of Titans really kind of goes in depth with its character customization a little bit more than the Isle does. So, taking into all that account, I don't believe that Deinocheirus in Path of Titans was simply brought in just to beat the Isle to the punch. Um, or at least that is not the sole purpose of the dinosaur. Because I do remember Path of Titans explaining that they did want to bring Deinocheirus to the game before the Isle released concept art of theirs. So it's plausible, I think, that it's plausible that this is just mere coincidence. But I think at the very least, in terms of shenaniganery, I think that the Path of Titans crew acknowledged that the Isle was bringing in Deinocheirus. They said, hey, look, we're already going to bring in Deinocheirus, and the hype for it is real right now. So let's put all development that we currently have on Deinocheirus. I think that that is what happened. I think that is the basis of Deinocheirus being in the game currently. I'm sure it was already planned. It was already planned. It was going to come anyways. But because of the hype surrounding the Isles Deinocheirus, they decided to push development on their Deinocheirus and get it out into the game. Which I don't think is anything. I don't think that there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I don't think that's like a bad thing. Um, and you know that kind of gets into my next point, which is the competition that surrounds Path of Titans and the Isle. And I, it's a little bit of a touchy subject for me because on the one hand, I really enjoy drama. I like listening to drama and figuring things out and doing all that kind of stuff. But on the other hand, these are two franchises that I absolutely love. And though I'm new to Path of Titans, I already really want it to succeed at its plan. I really want it to be a good game. Baseline. I want the Isle to be a good game. I want Path of Titans to be a good game, and I want Beast of Bermuda to be a good game. I want all of those games to be good games. And the way some people see it, it's either you pick one or the other. It's either you're an Isle member, or you're a Beast of Bermuda member, or you're a Path of Titans member, and I don't comprehend. I don't get it. Why would you want to limit yourself to only one dinosaur game, one dinosaur survival game? Why can't you have the best of all worlds? Why can't you have your cake and eat it too? Why not enjoy the Isle, enjoy Beast of Bermuda, enjoy Path of Titans? Because it is very obvious that despite all of them being the same base game, you know, you play a dinosaur, you survive in a dinosaur world, so on and so forth. All that is basically the same across all the games. However, the way that they do it is vastly different. And I think that's something that needs to be maintained and applauded for. Because, yes, alright, the Isle definitely has a little bit more going for it in terms of animation, the money it draws, the detail of the models, just the stuff that you can do in the game, the growth system. Yes, Dale has that all down packed, but it doesn't have character customization. It doesn't have like what do you call it? Skill trees. It doesn't have like unique interactions with other players besides murdering them. Those are things that Path of Titans and Beast of Bermuda bring to the table. Uh, they accomplish the same goal, but by doing it very differently. And that's what people need to focus on. People need to focus on the fact that, yes, they're very similar games, but they're different enough to where they don't necessarily come into direct contact with each other. Or rather, they shouldn't come into direct contact with one another. I mean, I understand that there are some ex-Isle developers on Path of Titans that is working on Path of Titans. I can understand that. But that doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who's behind the game. It just matters that the game is good enough to play, enjoyable enough to play, that you want to wake up in the morning and say, oh boy, I want to play The Isle, or I want to play Beast of Bermuda, or I want to play Path of Titans, or I want to play anything. Any game that makes you instantly think that when you wake up in the morning is a game worthwhile, is a game that needs love, care, and attention and support as much as it possibly can. Because we do not need another Stomping Lands situation. And I think that's what everyone is kind of afraid of, is these just turning into a Stomping Land situation. I don't think that the hate for any game, the Isle, Beast of Bermuda, Path of Titans, whatever, is necessary. And I don't think it's needed. I think that individuals who dog on those games simply just because they prefer the game they prefer is not a real fan of the genre. Does not comprehend the pain that we as gamers, as a gamer community, have suffered in the past. We are getting dinosaur games that are becoming successful, that are getting attention, that is getting money, development, so on and so forth. And I think that's what we need to focus on. Who cares that, the Path of Titans has a dinosaur that the Isle had? Who cares? Who legitimately cares that there are 2 Deinocheirus in both of the games? In my opinion, having 2 Deinocheirus in both games is awesome. Because you know that they're going to take it in a different direction. You know that the Isle is going to do something with their Deinocheirus that Path of Titans isn't. And who knows? Maybe when Beast of Bermuda gets their development back from them taking a break, going on Draconia, maybe they'll add a Deinocheirus. And maybe that Deinocheirus will be vastly different from either of the Deinocheirus we have. Bottom line. Bottom line. We need to be thankful that we have this many dinosaur survival games. And we need to be thankful that they're doing so well. Dispel the hate against either game, no matter what they do. Unless it's like, something really bad. And just enjoy the game. That's all I ask. And that's all a lot of the community members ask. I know that bigger community influencers, like the Gaming Beaver or Anthomnia, have already talked about this. But that's what we need to do. We need to just be thankful that we have what we have and that it isn't another Stomping Land situation. That they're actually achieving a goal here. I think that's what's important. Well, I think I've rambled on for long enough. Again, guys, I'm sorry that my audio messed up. I'm sorry that this is post. This probably isn't going to be as good as I think it is. And I'm trying to get video editing down, so you'll see a little bit more of edited videos, so on and so forth. But yeah, guys, if you like this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notifications of whenever I upload a video, however long that may take. And please, comment down below your thoughts, because I want to hear from you guys, the community. Anyway, guys, I'm Mr. Spinosaurus. I'll see you all next time.